Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the Try It Tuesday challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my Oliver, and we are so happy you stopped by today. And if you're returning, you know we love you. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and agave, and then the antique wax. 2 of these greenery bushes from Dollar Tree. This is like some contact paper from TEMU. I'm also going to use some of this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 3 of these tumbling tower blocks, of course, from Dollar Tree. And then also from Dollar Tree are these seed starter pots. And then this is a 12-inch embroidery hoop, I think, I got that from Amazon, I believe. And then that pizza pan from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to paint the rim of that pizza pan with the white, but I went over it with the agave after that. And then I went over the hoop with that antique wax. Here I'm taking the splatter screen from Dollar Tree. It's the same size as the middle of the pizza pan. And I am tracing it out on my paper, and then I cut that out. Then once it was all cut out, I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it right inside the middle of my pizza pan, just like you see me doing right here. And I love how this turned out, you guys. I'm taking my E6000 and I'm going to go around most of my hoop here. And then I'm going to add my hot glue, and then I'm just going to add that around the inside part of my pizza pan. Then I'm going to take my rope here and I'm just going to hot glue that right inside that hoop part, right like you see me doing right there. And then I'm just going to trim that off. Now, when I cut this stuff, I always put a little dab of hot glue. There's like 3 strands to this rope. So I put a little dab of hot glue in between and kind of squish them together. That way it holds those strands together and they don't unravel. And so once I have that all done here, I am going to take my little pots and I'm going to cut them in half. So I actually only used, 1.5 of these pots. I cut them because I'm only going to use 3. So I just cut the 2 of them in half, and then I'm just going to use the 1.5, if that makes sense. And they're really easy to cut, but you gotta be careful you don't cut too much like I started to do there. Then I took my white chalk paint here and a small chip brush, and I'm just doing a heavy dry brushing over all 3 of them. Once I was finished doing that white color, I took my agave and I'm just going to do some light dry brushing over them as well, just to add a little bit of that color to them. Then I'm going to hot glue my tumbling tower blocks onto my pizza pan here, and I just kind of laid them out where I wanted them and prayed that I put them back in place in the right place. Then I'm taking my hot glue and I'm just going around the edge of those cut pots, and then I'm going to hot glue them right onto my pizza pan. I'm going to add some moss, some Spanish moss inside of my little pots here, and then some of the greenery here. And I decided that that wasn't enough greenery, so I went ahead and cut some more pieces off and just added another piece to each one, and it looks fuller and much better. At least I think so. After I was done with that, I took some twine here, some jute twine, because I did not like the gap between the pizza pan and that embroidery hoop. Is that what it's called, an embroidery hoop? For some reason, it just doesn't seem right. Anyways, the hoop, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm just hot gluing it in between, and I just felt like it filled it in much better and gave it more of a finished look. Once I was done with that, I took some of this ribbon I got from Dollar Tree as well. It's been in my stash for who knows how long. I cut 2 of them down to, I think they were 16 inches, and then a third one down, I think, to 12 inches. I'm hot gluing them end to end, just like you see there. And then once I had them all hot glued and they were stuck together, I'm going to just kind of scrunch them up in the middle. I'm starting with the longer pieces, and I'm going to put them on top of each other like an X. And then I'm going to scrunch this one in the middle and put it like horizontal in between those 2. And then I'm just taking some jute twine here and tying a knot around them. And then I'm going to wrap that twine all the way around it just a few times because it wasn't a very long piece of twine. The inspiration piece that's by Amber Strong, it looked like she wrapped it a lot and kind of made it wide. I didn't want to do that, so I just used what I had. And then I'm just going to hot glue it to the middle there, the top of the pizza pan. Then I just used some more jute twine for a hanger, and there it is. I love the color combination. I think it is so beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, so today is the Try It Tuesday challenge, and it is hosted every month by Sammie with Unicorn Dust Designs, and we are to recreate someone else's creation that we are inspired by. And this is Sammie. If you don't know who she is, which I highly doubt, she's an amazing crafter. I watched her when I first started my videos or my channel. It was all because of watching her and the encouragement she gave to people, and she is amazing. So make sure you check her out if you don't know who she is, and subscribe to her channel. You won't be disappointed. And then make sure you check out the playlist as well. I will have links to all of them in my description box below. Okay, so here is DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I'm going to show you what I did because I lost my footage. So I took one of these wood plaques from Dollar Tree, and I took 2 of these candlesticks, and there's a third one there, but I glued 2 of them together with wood glue, and then glued a round wood piece on top of them, glued them all together. And then I took, this is a salad dressing jar. I used E6000 and glued that to the wood piece, and then I added another wood piece to the top of that lid, added that bowl from Dollar Tree, another one of those candlesticks from Hobby Lobby, the wood candlesticks, and then that bird is also from Hobby Lobby. Now, when you hot glue that onto the lid, you want to make sure you're hot gluing it so that when you tighten the lid, the bird is in the front. If you're going to recreate something like this, ask me how I know. Anyways, I am going to start off by taping off this glass because I didn't want to get paint on my glass. And then I painted everything but the glass black. And once I had it all painted, I realized you could see the wood on the inside. So I am going to tape it off here, and I'm going to paint in between the wood piece and that tape. I'm going to use my black. Now, if you have good weather, you could go and spray paint this, but again, I would not paint it all until, I would not add the jar until you've got it all painted. So once it was all dry, I took my agave and a chip brush, and I am just doing a really heavy dry brushing all around everything that is painted black. Now, I got this idea from Chalk It Up Fancy. I saw one of their videos. I think I saw it on Facebook. I fell in love with this the minute I saw it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to recreate this. It is beautiful. And so yeah, this is why I am recreating it. And they do have their own website too, and they have tons of tutorials. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. They are really fun. They have fun things to watch. So here I am going over the bowl, and then I'm going over the bird. I just love how this turned out. It gives it that stone look. I think it is so beautiful, but I'm just really going over the details on the bird. There's a flower there, and then over the wings and the tail, there's some little grooves and detail on the bird that just really comes out when you put this agave over it. So as soon as I get done here, I'm going to finish with the back part of it. Make sure I got the inside of the bowl and the candlestick it was sitting on. And then once that was all dry, I took some white and I just kind of went over and blended in some white. Now you want to be careful that you don't cover up the black, because you want to be able to see the black and the agave and the white color. After I was done with that, I took my small paintbrush here and some black, and I just went in and colored in the eyes just to bring out those eyes and bring out some boldness in those eyes. And then I took this metallic paint. It is aged copper, and I am just going to add some here and there along this bird. And oh my goodness, you guys, I just love the way this came out. It is so, so beautiful. Once I had it all finished, I did add some foam roses that I had on hand to that jar. Now they had eggs, Easter eggs. I felt like, we're past Easter. So I decided to add those foam roses. And then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more. So I added this twine all the way around that base. And then after I had that done, I decided it looked kind of funny to just be down on the base. So I'm going to add some more around the round part where the base and the jar is connected to that wood round. I'm just going around there, hot gluing it. And then after I have that done, I'm going to take some more of that twine and go around the top part too. And this is optional. It's not anything you have to do. They didn't do it, but I like the twine. For me, it gives me that a little bit more of that rustic look. So here I just made a double finger bow, and I'm doing it really slow so you can watch how I do it because I always have a hard time explaining it. And I'm just going to tighten it up, and I'm going to hot glue it to the front of my jar, and that is all there is for this. I absolutely love how this came out. I just think it is so beautiful. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below as well. Okay, I just want to thank all my subscribers. You guys, I just reached 13,000 and I couldn't have done it without you, and I appreciate you all so very much. And if you are new here and enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. Make sure you guys give me that thumbs up, comment, watch those ads. That really helps my channel. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find my links to my accounts in the description box below. Okay, here is DIY number 3, and this I am the original creator of this was Emily with Farm Charm Chic. So I started out with 2 of these, it'll focus here in a moment, 1x2s that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm actually going to use 7, I know I show 5 here, but I use 7 of these 5-gallon paint stir sticks that I get from Amazon. And I'm going to also use the same paints that I used before. I hope you guys aren't bored with these colors, but I was loving these colors and the way this looks so much. I wanted to do everything in this color. So I cut these down to 11 inches, and then I have 4 of these that are 4 inches. I have 2 of these that are 5 inches. I'm trying to get it to focus there. There we go. And then 1 that's 9 inches, and then 2 that are 12 inches. Now I will have these listed in my description box. And for any of you guys who are new, I always list in my description box the supplies that I use. So I took 2 of those 5-inch pieces, and I am marking from the end 1.5 inches. And I'm just going to mark both of them. And then I'm going to take one of the 4-inch pieces, and I'm going to hot glue. No, I'm going to use wood glue and hot glue and attach these. Now, I would suggest that you only use wood glue and give it some time. I don't know why, but for some reason, and I'm taking a second 5-inch piece and 4-inch piece and putting it on the end. I do that on both of the 5-inch pieces. Anyways, I was having such a hard time. Everything kept falling apart. So I ended up just really using only, I took everything apart and just used my wood glue, and then had my husband help me. With this one, I was able to use his clamps to clamp these together. Luckily, he's got all kinds of clamps, so he went and grabbed them for me. And then once I had those 2 pieces together, they look like a chair, as you can see. I took the 9-inch piece, and I'm going to connect the 2 chairs that, or at least they look like chairs, together. And I was having a heck of a time trying to figure out how am I going to hold this so my husband can come clamp it. So once I got that all in place, my husband came in with his clamp and got them all clamped together. And I didn't show this part, but then it all fell apart. I can't remember what we did, but something happened and it all fell apart. And that's where I ripped off all the hot glue and just went in with the wood glue, and we glued everything back together, and we let this sit for overnight. So I just went and let it sit overnight, and yeah. So the next day I took my stir sticks here, and I'm just going to use hot glue. I figured this is going to be sturdy enough for the hot glue, and I went ahead and started hot gluing these together. Now I just made marks so I would know where to put the hot glue, and I'm just adding these together. I added the front one first and then the very back one. That way I could just kind of eye where I wanted to put the middle one. And then I just add my hot glue, add that piece, and then I did the same thing along the back side. Once it was all together, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink and painted out all black. And then I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the bird, and I'm going to just go over all of it with the agave, doing a really heavy distressing all over the front, the back, the bottom, the top, everywhere you could see it. Then I also went over it again with some white. And I absolutely love this. Now, I did not add any of that bronze, but I think I might go back and add a little bit to make it look like some rust. But there it is. I absolutely love how this turned out. Oh, it is so beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, so it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. And Dusty sent me these pictures. She has been busy. They are all so pretty. Thank you so much, Dusty. I really appreciate it. And then Susan, she was making some birdhouses. These are so cute, Susan. Thank you so much. And if you guys have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and I would be more than thrilled to showcase them here for you. Okay, so here's DIY number, what is this, 4? Okay, so I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and agave. I'm going to use some of this, it's like a 1/2 inch reed. I got this from Amazon like a couple of years ago. I don't know what exactly they call it. And then another one of these fence from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by cutting off of the edges off of both sides of the fence here, and then I'm going to cut off the legs just like you see. After that, I just took that agave and I started going over it with the heavy dry brushing just like I did with the previous 2 DIYs. Now, the nice thing was I didn't have to paint this black since it was already black, but I just went ahead and just started coating it with that agave, and then I went over it again with some white. And I also did the back. I made sure that the back was done because, you know, you're going to be able to see the back, and I wanted it to match. Once it was all dry, I took 2 zip ties here, and I'm going to zip tie them to the edges together just like you see. Then I took those reed pieces and I'm just trying to figure out how much I want to cut out. And I think I measured 20 inches if I remember right. And I cut down 4 strips of 20 inches, but really it ended up being too long. I would say maybe 12 inches, or you could do what Emily did. Emily created this from Farm Charm Chic as well. And she used embroidery hoops that she cut in half. So once I had them all cut out, I painted them. I did the same thing as I did with everything else with the black and the agave and the white. Then I'm just going to hot glue them, and I'm going to use a clip to kind of hold them in place for a few minutes just to make sure it really sets. And once I have them all hot glued here, I'm just going like from the middle to across to the other side, and then from like the edge across to the other side. And what you can't see me doing right here is after I have the second part here hot glued, I do hot glue the bottom of that one to the top of the other one that it's going over. And I continue to hot glue just like you see me doing right here, each layer. And then after that, I took this finial. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I painted it just like I did all the rest. And then I'm just going to hot glue this right onto the top. Now, I kind of wish I would have grabbed a smaller. I know I have some smaller ones somewhere. I wish I would have looked deeper because I think it would have looked better. And I think if I would have cut those reeds down just a little bit more, had it not so tall, it might have looked better. It might have been looked a little more like Emily's, but I still really love the way it turned out. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And here is your final reveal of all 4. Thank you all so much for watching today. Again, if you are new here and you like thrift flips, home decor on a budget, holiday decor, gift ideas, please hit that red subscribe button before you go. Become part of our YouTube family, and then make sure you guys give me that thumbs up, comment, all that fun stuff. And then make sure you watch Sammie's video and check out the playlist. And with all that being said, you guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will be back on, I believe, Thursday with another video. So until then, have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.